Welcome back. Dr. Bhalla's earlier answer mentioned about how and why people from other parts of India would not invest or not look forward to investment in the Northeast because it's not safe or not. My next question is related to it. What can be the role of people from other parts of India, especially one, politicians, two, corporate houses, and three, the celebrities, the film stars or the sports persons, etc. For the integration of Northeast. We always say that Northeast needs to be integrated with rest of India. So what can be the approach for paradigm shift towards Northeast?
See, the first part of the question is very interesting. That we talk of national integration, but the moment it comes to identifying with the people of the rest of the country, North India still looks at South India as a totally
Yes.
different entity. Love marriages may happen, but no one wants basically कि मैं बहू जो है South से ले आऊँ, because they feel that cultural distinction is so
Yes.
difficult to assimilate in the family milieu. It's a perception built over centuries,
Yes.
and it will take some time to go.
Mm-hmm.
The moment it comes to Northeast, since their features are also Mongoloid, immediately that akinness to Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, there is a perception about the tribal societies
Mm-hmm.
that they are very free and liberal,
Mm-hmm.
and it is misconstrued in the wrong context
Mm-hmm.
by northerners.
Mm-hmm.
Especially it is in North India where they face the problem.
Yes.
They face much less a problem in the peaceful South
Mm-hmm.
or in the West. They face more problem here in the North. Now, this ignorant fringe of country's population needs to be educated.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to happen otherwise also. Danny Dangazappa
Mm-hmm.
is one of the heroes admired by everyone.
Yes.
Bhaichand Bhutia from football. Now Mary Kom is a household name.
Mm-hmm.
Chang is the singing sensation. All these people, and we require more and more heroes from the Northeast. Very few people know that lot of young lieutenants and captains and soldiers, they died in the Kargil war, they were from Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Northeast regiment has been doing a lot. So all these people need to be idolized and highlighted.
And the other way around, people from other states, politicians, corporate houses.
They need to go there. It is happening now with this current government, since Assam now is for the first time with a party from the North India milieu, because BJP till now was not considered to be a pan-Indian presence,
Mm-hmm.
and now it is changing, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a party with lot of northern context,
Mm-hmm.
or let us say Hindu context. So they have accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
Assam going for a change, they are also with a party which is only associated with the northern milieu, is a great achievement. And slowly, this thing is going to happen. They will accept this part. But this part of the country, mainly in India, has got to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since Assam, the government has come,
Mm-hmm.
lot of central ministers are visiting. Because of Prime Minister's not only declaration of intention, but going to the Northeast, trying to woo the voters and getting a government installed,
Mm-hmm.
which is akin to the central government, it shows the resolve that they want to develop not only Northeast for the sake of the states, but for the sake of the country itself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to happen. Politicians are doing their bit, they need to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrities are doing their bit, they do to need more. We also need to portray, as far as the Bollywood is concerned, they are doing a bit, but very little.
Very little.
Little too late. For example,
Bollywood is not even going there for shooting.
I would say they have, the one, they are not using the locales,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very good avenue. Second thing is, but they have started portraying this Ladakhi gentleman, which is portrayed in Three Idiots,
Yeah.
Rancho.
Yes.
Then Mary Kom, of course.
Yes. And the recent Pink movie also
Pink
has
also.
a Northeast character.
So this is bringing in some kind of this thing, but this is very little.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mahindra has chain of resorts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why not Northeast?
Mm-hmm.
So again, that what I said earlier, security perception, not wanting to go to a difficult area, it's going to remain for some time. But politicians, celebrities, you are absolutely right, they can do play a lot of role, and Bollywood can especially do by taking their locales there. It is the Switzerland of this country. Why should not they be going there?
When Dr. Bhalla says Switzerland of the country, it's very right. Northeast is bestowed with wonderful hills and valleys, and river systems form a major part of the geography of Northeast. That brings me to my next question. Traditionally, Northeast has had a wonderful system of inland water transportation. It had connectivity to Bangladesh, it had connectivity to Myanmar, and also there was this cross-border trade. Post 47, things change. Now with the Act East policy, what do you think is the future of this?
You have raised a very pertinent question. It is not only the inland waterways which need to be developed, it is also the air connectivity within the region, with the mainland India, as well as with the neighboring countries which are near to the northeast, especially the Asian countries. It is also going to be the road development which is going to help a lot, because it is an old proverb that wherever the road goes, the development happens. Most of the development in the past civilization, that has either happened on the river banks or wherever the road had gone. Roadside, food stalls, roadside, rest of the industry is coming. But inland waterways, actually prior to 1947, with the so-called Bangladesh now and the Pakistan earlier, it was the mainstay.
Yes.
And even now, the connection with the Chittagong port is going to solve most of the problems of Tripura.
Mm-hmm.
I see further that Brahmaputra and Barak, both the rivers, they offer a lot of scope for this.
Mm-hmm.
Brahmaputra is 24/7, 365 days full of water.
Yes.
And it has the depth also. Already the government is doing a big push towards this. Brahmaputra, they are going to declare part of it as National Highway 2 in the inland waterways. Then in the Barak River, they are declaring it as the National Inland Waterway 6. And in Mizoram Kolodine River, they are putting up the thing. Sadia is being connected. So all these things are happening, but we would wish a little more faster pace. If it happens, that will be ultimately helping Northeast develop in the manner in which you have been envisaging and which I have been wishing so far, because Northeast is like a second home to me. I have spent 25 years of my life there, and I would want to see it developing within my lifetime, that this becomes the region which everyone ultimately wants to go in for. Few of my books which have addressed all these issues which you have been asking is Future of India, where I have written exclusively 2 chapters on Northeast and all the things which are required to be done there. Sustainable tourism development talks about sustainability vis-a-vis the development, and that conundrum gets basically some solution there. And strategic significance of Northeast points out why even for the country's safety, national interest, also it is important. One thing which I feel is we need to engage China, Myanmar and all the Asian countries. Trade is going to solve the problems there, not engaging militarily. And that will also solve the problem of insurgency, because there will be no feeder stock left for insurgency if the youth has got the jobs.
Thank you, Dr. Bhalla. We have had a wonderful session. He has touched almost all aspects of tourism, development, economy, sustainable growth, and we really hope what he envisages, what he writes in his book, what he propagates comes true. This is Nivedita Khandekar signing off. Again, thank you so much. Welcome back. We have a question related to one of your fields of expertise. Northeast states have huge potential for tourism, but somehow the kind of development that tourism has seen, the potential has not been exploited as yet. And why has that happened, that these states have not become potential tourist destinations so that they add to the economy of Northeast?
See, excellent question. Northeast actually, its development is going to rest on few pillars only. It's not a place where you can develop everything. So that is why the schemes of development which are aimed at the rest of the nation, like developing industry, etc., is not going to work. The main potential lies there. Tourism is one, because of its biodiversity, because of the trained manpower. They are by nature very hospitable, and most of them, they are English knowing. The hills offer a beautiful chance for ecotourism. Apart from that, plantations, horticulture, food processing, hospitality, airlines,
Jungles.
IT, yeah. So this all is going to offer very good scope. Now the realization that these are the areas has dawned, but for development of tourism, first of all you need infrastructure, you need roads, you need air connectivity, you need excellent telecom connectivity. Then there are some constraints also. Hills by nature are very fragile, so you cannot do the development in these areas which will endanger the biodiversity or the fragile habitat. Communities are very strong there, which is an insurance against the negative fallout of tourism or negative fallout of any economic development. But at the same time, it is a constraint also. Communities have to be involved, they have to be convinced, they have to be trained, and it will be a community-based ecotourism in the hills. And most of it is hills area only, except plains of Assam, where you can have conference tourism, where you can have 5-star hotel tourism and rest of it. In hills, it is going to be a different model. So all this needs to be conceived. I have written a book on it, Sustainable Tourism Strategies for Nagaland. There is another book on tourism potential of Northeast. In this, I have exclusively talked about the community-centric societies which are there and how in the hills, sustainable tourism can be developed. So I would say that tourism will happen, but it needs to be taken care of, that sustainability as well as the sustenance of the habitat there is not threatened. So if tourism has not happened, doesn't matter. We have not lost much time. Even now it can happen. And now we have to think in terms of ASEAN and Southeast Asian hub in the Northeast. Not only the domestic tourist from Gujarat and Bengal, but also, basically the international tourist. Model is provided by Bhutan itself. They have niche tourism, costly but sustainable. China has done it very well. So we can, develop along those lines.
You spoke of ASEAN and Northeast can be the hub of this kind of tourism. That brings me back to the Act East policy that has been very actively promoted by this government. What does the common man in any of the northeastern state have for himself? I mean, what does he benefit from the Act East policy? What can be the incentive for him to be part of this?
See, as I said, tourism, one thing important about it, it is a multiplier. Because tourism, for it to happen, first of all, so many, sectors get involved in it. It is the financial sector which is required. It is the telecom sector which is required. It is the road sector. It is the airline sector. It is the hospitality sector. It is the floriculture. And, basically the communities themselves by the very nature of Northeast. So, all the sectors are going to, benefit from it. And it is ultimately going to benefit people. And you cannot have tourism without manpower training. Because ultimately what you look forward to when you go to a tourist destination, why people go to Thailand at all? Because number one is infrastructure, number two is people. Whosoever once goes to Thailand wants to go there again and again, because this is one place where no police is required. It is hardly police. There is a special police called tourism police or tourist police. And they are looking forward to helping out the tourists. No one is there to exploit the tourists. They want to help them around, take them around, tell them, where, basically they have to go. myself have seen that go to see their palace, and professors of the universities, elderly people, they'll be standing there and they would say, ki, fine, I'll be your tourist guide. You ask them, why are you doing it? They say, for my country. Money, yes, you pay me, but it is up to you, because I am not standing here for money. I am already earning, $10,000 a month, but I am standing here for my country. So that is the kind of feeling. So ultimately, any development in Northeast, and this development is going to happen from international arena only. Why? Because the security perception of the private investor from mainland India is not going to change in a hurry. Why? Because they have got rest of the country to invest in, which is safe, which does not have, the problems of conflicts and borders. Why they should go in a hurry? So the regions which are nearby to the northeast, whether from China, Myanmar, etc., they will.
We have a lot of more questions, and now we take a break again, small break, and we come back with more questions.